In today's video, we need to talk about Dixie Damelio and a recent viral clip of her where she is getting harassed by the paparazzi. As if this poor girl's mental health couldn't have gotten any worse, you guys. Because not only did Dixie get agitated by the paparazzi at the red carpet, but this situation was so sticky that it was publicly aired to 7 million people online. By now, it's no surprise that the Damelio sisters have been the center of attention on TikTok as well as in public for quite a while now. Ever since TikTok started to really blow up in late 2020, these girls have subsequently amassed a huge following as well, accessing a world of fame and attention that they've never seen before. It has now been about 2 years since Charlie and Dixie have been around on the TikTok spotlight, and it just seems like the hype behind these girls isn't coming to an end anytime soon. To the point where it now seems like paparazzi won't even respect their boundaries. Or at least that's what many people think. Recently, one of the Damelio sisters, Dixie Damelio, was invited to a red carpet event, and a really sticky situation had occurred between Dixie and the paparazzi. Usually when social media influencers attend red carpet events, or just any mainstream event in general, things seem to go the normal route for most influencers. Influencers show up, get their pictures taken despite the number of flashes that are on them in such a rapid amount of time, and then they go on with their day. Nowadays, it's become so normalized for influencers to just act like puppets for the paparazzi. But this time, the paparazzi seem to have crossed the line and had taken it way too far with Dixie Damelio. It all started when a couple of days ago, a clip of Dixie having her photos taken at a red carpet event had instantly went viral on social media. The reason this clip got so controversial all of a sudden on TikTok was because of the interaction between Dixie and a certain paparazzi member. While Dixie was getting her photos taken, there were a number of people yelling in the background a bunch of different commands towards her in regards to getting their pictures of Dixie the exact way they wanted. It just seemed like an extremely hectic environment for Dixie because she had all these voices yelling at her at once. But it wasn't until one specific lady made this question towards her in front of everyone, asking her what her deal was, kind of implying that she had an attitude because she wasn't smiling to her camera. Yeah, it's the audacity for me.
Big smile, sweetheart, right here. And one more spot.
What's the deal? Why are you yelling at me? You're not looking. That's why.
Charlie. And Dixie, get in front of.
So, when the paparazzi had tried justifying the way she was yelling at Dixie because she just wasn't looking at her camera specifically, Dixie seemed to have rightfully lost it at that point. She gave off a very frustrated look, and it just seemed like she was tired of the several voices in the crowd telling her how to pose all at once. But when this specific female paparazzi had responded to her saying that the reason she felt like she had the right to yell at Dixie because she wasn't following her commands, a huge debate broke out under the comment section, with many people raising questions about whether this was disrespectful on the paparazzi's end or not, and if paparazzis should even be inclined to consider themselves working a job. Because what I can tell you guys is that many people under the comments think this one specific paparazzi who was rude definitely didn't seem to have the right to speak to her the way she did, especially in front of everyone. I mean, I couldn't disagree. Dixie does not owe anything to the paparazzi. So imagine being rude to her and not treating her like a human being, rather as if she's some sort of puppet. Anyways, here were the many criticisms about the paparazzi. Oh my god, my anxiety could never deal with 1 million people shouting at me like this. I'd be crying. She's got some real skill not going off on that lady or just walking off. The paparazzi need to realize that they're not entitled to anything. Dixie did the right thing. She stood up for herself. There's like 1 million people trying to take her picture, and this lady's complaining that she's not looking. It's always the paparazzi. They're always complaining complaining about something. It's not her job to look at one specific camera for the whole time. Like, get a picture and move on. That lady is doing too much. There's many people trying to take her picture from different angles. She would have gotten ignored. It must be so hard having all that money and status. Some people had a counter argument though, where they backed up the paparazzi, saying things like this. Wait, don't paparazzi at red carpets yell the name of the celeb so the celeb can turn to them and they can get a direct picture? Like, is that not what was happening here? I'm sorry, what's the issue? They yell at Tom Hanks. I saw a video where they yelled at Al Pacino last week. Why are so many people in these comments acting like she should just shut up and expect being treated like that just because she's in the public eye? Do you also think it's cool when fans show up to someone's house? Because I guess they should expect that too. It's not about what this one person said or this one interaction. It's the fact that people are treated like dancing monkeys once they get a bit of fame, which is up. I'm not even a fan of hers, but I can recognize that she's a human being, not just a spectacle to for your own profit. This was wrong, and she has every right to be disgusted and offended by it and take it to heart. This isn't the first time someone has treated her like this, and it won't be the last. Doesn't take a genius to understand why this would with someone's head and why they would get defensive. People, including Dixie's own fans, started spreading concerns about the situation and started sending love to Dixie, saying things like this on Twitter. Can't believe the paparazzi were being so mean to Dixie. I'm so glad Dixie spoke up. There was absolutely no reason for them to be treating her so disrespectfully. Love you at Dixie Damelio. Dixie getting yelled at by paparazzi because she wasn't looking at that certain camera? There were loads of them, and she's giving you money. The worst part about this to a lot of people was that this happened to be aired to 7 million people online. Ever since Dixie amassed a huge following on social media, she has also gone through a number of breakdowns online. From her Instagram lives to even her own reality show showing what it's really like having all this fame and attention on her.
The hate, like, no matter what I do, and I just think if I said one thing differently or made a different move, or like, would I be getting a lot less hate comments?
We're here for you, babe. And I can't stand the fact that these people that are tearing you apart behind the screen of a phone. It's just not. It's going to get better.
They're lying. Like, I'm trying to do everything I can to better myself, and it just gets worse.
Anyways, guys, I definitely want to know what you think about Dixie Damelio getting harassed by the paparazzi. Do you think it was wrong of the paparazzi to do this? Also, what do you think about paparazzis considering what they do a job?